happening a lot on Twitch lately, which makes me unhappy. PQ, just talk about something in the game quickly while I try to fix stuff.
Alright, so for Team Freedom, it is an offlane Abaddon with the support Tiny. There's a ability, they do some pulls, to help the Zeus out a lot dealing with the bounty. Wouldn't be surprised if bounty opts to like block a camp or something like that, just because they're already saying ability. He just drew on the map, so they should be aware of it.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be back up in 2 minutes, folks. I will let... We'll just keep on casting from this end, because there's still, you know, probably a few people watching in Dota TV. So, hopefully that'll get itself all sorted out in 2 minutes. Either way, we're gonna be getting into it. We've got Volva just playing with that bear. Have we been given info on where everybody's landing?
Pretty much. As I said, offlane Abaddon, Ledger's bottom, mid.
The battle begins.
Look like anyone's doing the block for him, but Bounty is setting up for a courier sniper blocking camp, so the Tiny can't do balls, as I was saying.
Yeah, just some really nice plays coming out here, trying to make sure that everybody's getting their exact favorable lanes. It will be Abaddon offlane on IX Mike, so they are again running this support Tiny that they play sometimes. I'm really interested to see how it'll work out this game, especially with a bounty hunter in the mix. I'm not sure your support Tiny can get away with as many things.
It's really all in hero. If it doesn't work, I really think provide something in the fight, but you want it to be doing either some kind of pulling early, or what they're doing now is also really good with the pressure. Because Lion, Sven, it's okay dual lane against certain offlaners, but they don't have the damage to kill these heroes, and they can get trade for days.
Yeah.
They can getting just buy some 3-4 more minutes as the game goes on. He's not big.
And with that, okay, good. So its stream is back up. Sorry about that for people who are watching at home. I'm not 100% sure what is the issue, but Twitch has been doing that where we have to change servers a lot because their servers are dying randomly, so... Not the greatest, as someone who calls a lot of Dota, having seen this happen on a couple of the channels. But back into this game, let's focus on what's going on. Lone Druid getting a good amount of farm on here, as is Death Prophet. She's definitely outlaws CSing Zeus, and actually... I wonder whether Resolution is playing from Russia right now.
I have no idea on that one. Talking about the farm as well, you see the Sven's like, he's already missed out on 6-7 CS just because of the and Tiny being up there. It is also forced the rotation from Bounty, which frees up Zeus to be slightly more aggressive mid. He can, you know, walk down from his hill. Not gonna solo kill him unless there's some runes coming into play.
Yeah, so getting a good amount of farm on the side of Freedom because their carry isn't being too contested. This Abaddon, as you mentioned, doing a lot of good work, but whether he'll be able to keep it up, because at some point the levels will start showing up and Aoi will just Stormhammer IX Mike to the face. Actually, Aoi kind of chasing after him, gonna have an Aphotic Shield and taking all this damage from the creeps.
So the biggest problem is, right now the line doesn't have levels, and until 6, no way they're killing him. And then you still have to burn through hard time cooldown. It's such a problematic offlaner when you have these fairly weak lanes.
On the upside, they are starting to zone him a little bit now, and Bulba, he's also getting quite a lot of farm in this game.
Radiant's
As long as it's one of those heroes you feel fairly comfortable leaving on its own. The supports are allowed to do, like, the Tiny went top early, now he's doing playing, the Oracle's getting full a lot, so they're probably going to be ahead on levels. You can already see 1437 slightly suffering.
Now, we haven't talked too much about game plans. If you're DC here, do you just try to group up when you get the 6 on, well, you probably want to wait until Beastmaster gets a few levels. But do you have a plan, you know, maybe you saying, hey Beastmaster, you get a few more points in that inner beast and we group up and push? Or do you think it's a better plan for them to kind of farm it up and, as you said, try to force team fights?
It's gonna come down to them.
Oh, okay, we're gonna have a nice stun coming out onto Resolution, but there's no follow-up here, and actually, can they catch up to this Tiny? They can get a Spirit Siphon off on him. They will be able to get a kill here. I think he eats a mango, trying to toss them away, but it's not gonna be- Oh! He's living on 88 health! One more auto attack will do it. He eats a fairy- No, he doesn't. He just walks away, regenning. And is that really gonna be... That's apparently going to be it. And not only does it help Zeus, this is all this time wasted for Death Prophet. She was dominating that mid lane, and now Zeus, as you said, getting quite a bit of freedom.
They're setting up for it, but being for the safer call.
Yeah, there's really not a lot, I think, that the members of Freedom could do there. A little bit too low for IX Mike. So.
Back to game plans, I think you probably want to be doing something push-wise before Lone Druid gets his Radiance. Then it gets twice as hard to fight into them. You know, more dies, Bounty and Lion, they'll both be too squishy to actually do anything without any kind of tower gold when there's a Radiance and there's a Zeus. Ports will just die instantly. The Death Prophet generally doesn't tank up that much, but that's a few items. So 7 or 8, depending which skill route, I'd expect them to try and push. Might just be off kickoffs, like Raw the Lone Druid bottom, TP down, tower, something along those lines. Do that 2-3 times before the Radiance comes out, I think that's ideal for them. But something that they're really lacking right now is levels on the bounty. Him getting that, not so easy. The Ben go to the jungle once he's got his Terminator, but then the Lion kind of wants to be getting the levels, not bounty. Kind of in the shit right now, level 1, 6 minutes in.
Yeah, it's really not great for this bounty hunter. Not only that, we still haven't had first blood. Oh, I may have spoken too soon. Up in top, 1437 in a lot of trouble. IX Mike, oh, the Zeus ult comes on through, helps them get the kill, and now Owie on the back foot.
That's just problem with these squishy supports. It was actually a really good pick by Freedom, I think, that a way to off the push from DC gives some way to contain map control. It's a hero that didn't destroyed mid either. It's slightly behind, but doesn't mind that. He's always going to get some farm. Most importantly, he's keeping on top of his levels.
Yeah, and despite destroying this lane, Resolution really can't get too much. Actually, as I say that though, they're diving. Salkta right there, uses the Shuriken. They've also got the Spirit Siphon. I think Zeus has no escape, and Sunby knows it. Goes down. No rotations from anyone, despite Resolution and Salkta being half health.
Radiant's middle tower
Oracle without a TP, Abaddon obviously been off lane without a TP. For one kill they've given up in 7 minutes. Not too bad. It gave bounties, but pretty good overall for them considering it's only happened the once, and Lone Druid's got so much base bottom, like you can see on the CS. So much further ahead, he already has his Midas, 800 gold.
7 minutes in, already has his Midas. Lone Druid, albeit this is a safe lane farming Lone Druid, so the stats are kind of skewed since most of the stats are for off lane Lone Druid. 12 minutes is the average Midas time. So he is way ahead of the ball.
You normally factor in either phase boots or double boots as well, so that's another 5 minutes if you go for both of those. Whereas he just straight up rushed it this game. Master wasn't pressuring him, the bounty was on the other 2 lanes. Really gonna pay off for them this game, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Smokes come out of Bulba though, so I think as you said, they realize they maybe need to pressure the Lone Druid some more.
Yeah, they really want to try and get any kind of tower and control of the woods.
But Sock's gonna walk right under a ward. There it is, the Primal Roar, but they will be able to get the kill first onto the Bounty Hunter. It looks like Francis will be going down here. He's trying to walk it off. He's healing up a little bit from the Oracle. They need another Spirit Siphon. They've got it. They will lose the Lone Druid. And Oracle unable to save his teammate. At the same time, up in top, they get a stun onto Abaddon, who doesn't have the borrowed time, but it doesn't matter. They've killed off the Lion. Now they're going off to Owie. IX Mike looking for more murder. He still hasn't skilled. He's gonna hit another level once they get this Owie kill. And yep, there they go. Zeus getting himself 3 kills.
Yeah, he's doing really well this game. And he's also holding the skill point on borrowed time because if you're like hitting neutrals or something, you drop below, it triggers and you really don't want that. It's the same thing with the Raid Kings used to do.
Okay, Kiko in a little bit of trouble here in the mid lane, but gonna actually just walk it off. Throws a toss back out onto 1437, and as you talked about, he has to be careful. Sunbeat, many more levels, but here comes Resolution, and I think that this killing spree comes to an end. There's gonna be a stun going out onto Resolution, but he should be fine.
So that sequence of events, DD suddenly look in a much better position in the game. They've taken the tier 1, stunted the Lone Druid's farm, even though he's still equal with DP. Spent 2,000 gold on an item that helps him farm in the bed. It does more damage in fights, but not the best item at this stage of the game in terms of fighting. So managed to get his Radiance by 15, 16 minutes, which is ideally what you want. Might just be able to take a few more towers and the Radiance won't be so impactful in fights because maybe they have a mech on the bounty by that point. Maybe they even have Necro free at that point. Outpower the bear. The biggest thing in that will be the Zeus. Just the raw amount of damage will be too much for the supports. They'll want to find a way to either pick him off or, I don't know, maybe bait his spells on something.
Yeah, I'm not sure that just a mech will be enough here against both the Zeus and the Radiance. Obviously someone on DC probably wanting a pipe. I wouldn't be surprised if Beach Smolster ends up saying, hey, I've got my Necro books, maybe I'll go for a pipe next. He is smoked again. 1437 gonna throw out a stun, but now he is getting blown up, and IX Mike is here, the toss and the Zeus ult coming through. Very liberal with that Zeus ult, and I like it, getting them a lot of kills.
I should also have realised there was a smoke from over with that Zeus ult, but
yeah, unfortunately.
You can see where the vision gets given. If you don't have wards in that area, you know someone's smoked.
Yeah, maybe just a bit preoccupied with the kill, and so not noticing that the smoke was choreographed. Either way, DC gonna get another tower pushed in here, and after taking bottom, I mean, this is good. This is good timing for them.
It's just on the back of Zeus kind of chain dying 3 times. He was doing fine in his lane, he was getting 14 kills, and then he just died twice. Really not good for them. Now DC have control of the Radiant Woods. Might be able to farm 1 or 2 camps if they get some vision across this line maybe, but going any deeper is risky. Especially when track comes up as well, it's just going to be a field day for whoever sits there. Poor vision is just right now.
Speaking of track, Sox, considering he was super in trouble early game, is doing a good job of getting that 6 sometime soon. Also, 1437 goes down in the top lane.
Fortunately, the Lion's just tanking a lot of ganks, but he got his level 6. He's at least managed to tranquil, so completely in vain. The bounty getting the other lane is going to help a lot. To stop 1 or 2 more times with track, heroes get that gold. It's going to help so much.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
In the meantime, Freedom managed to pull top tower down, and we haven't talked too much about it. The supports on Freedom are getting some levels, the Tiny of course. I don't... Oh, okay, who are we? Is that just a scouting Zeus ult? I think so.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea because they're not looking to like straight 5 and 5 right now at all. They want the Lone Druid's Radiance before they look to do anything as 5. They might try and, like, they've just smoked an out, get a pick off or something. They don't want to be forcing big engagements.
During the draft, we did discuss how DC maybe wanted a bit more lockdown so Aoi can hit targets, but now you have a similar problem on Freedom when we look at things. Oh, okay, they just dusted up Sakska. He is going to get blown up here. So a really nice play there from Freedom.
I'd just say it's good by Saxon. Yank.
Yeah.
Staying in an area that is very likely to heroes walk into it smoked, or the hill trying to gain control of their woods. You know, it lets Aoi farm bottom with complete confidence. Sees the heroes there, so dies, he backs off. It's completely worth it on their end because they're just more economical. Time. 3 of their heroes were farming while Freedom was smoked off. It's not too big a deal in that one scenario, but if it continues to happen, then it's a problem. Freedom popping Exodus as the top right now. They get the roar on the Abden.
Oh, in a lot of trouble. Actually, this interaction is going to be really funky. They're getting both, though, it looks like it. So IX Mike should be going down here. He'll explode. Actually, can't deny yourself when you've got that on you, can you?
How does it work with borrowed time?
I don't know. I don't think it'll proc your borrowed time, is the problem.
No, but if you just self-activate it.
If you self-activated it, I think you'll get healed up. I'm not sure, though. We'll see Bulba taking a bit of damage, but they should easily have this tower. One more auto attack. Yeah, they get it. 1437. Moving forwards like he wants some more, but gonna end up backing on out while Saksa is stalking Lone Druid, who just bought up Big Pot, bought up the Sacred Relic, so...
Kill though. They are coming with smoke line though, so as long as...
Okay, I think Aoi did he just use his dominating creep there? Is that what I saw?
Maybe.
I think that's what I saw.
Thorin got like stunned by Mud Golem, so must...
Yeah. There's no other person here right now who could have done that, and Francis, I think he's trying to bait them sort of, but he doesn't realize that Aoi is here too. There's gonna be the Stormbolt coming out the finger as well, and a couple of auto attacks will bring him down. Zeusol a little too late. Really unable to do anything. IX Mike thinking about going in, trying to find someone, but again, they're in a lot of trouble. Maybe they'll catch out 1437. Nope, not even gonna find themselves a lion.
That's really good by DC. I was kind of concerned they might not be able to get out there with how close it was to where the rest of Freedom were, but... enough damage with the Hex on the bear, they weren't able to buy the time for the Roar, and now they just get Roshan off this. They can stop them taking their 1 minute as well, if they get the supports. This is exactly where DC want to be. Sven's quite top of the net worth, but got his health nearly his FNY, 15 and 16 minutes in. It's ideal for him, and he's not the only source of damage for a very long time right now, because his team's having a very good game. Already level 12
they're
play.
going into IX Mike. There's gonna be the stun out. He also pops up a wand to get to full health. It looks like we have Beastmaster trying to prepare on going on the back line. Bulba might be seen here by this ward though, if he comes in too soon. And yeah, he backs on out.
I don't think they really want to fight though right now, because Necrofreeze on the way out. I the recipe. That is Necrofreeze. So as soon that's probably when they want to go. They're already prepping to push the lanes out top, but they don't have to worry about any split push. You get like the soul booster up on DP, which is going to make her even harder to win these fights. Freedom don't have the most amount of burst if the tiny combo isn't connected on top of the... a lot of sustain once the Lone Druid gets his Radiance, which is currently like 300 away. We should be able to have it by the next time they push.
And with that,
that
we'll just go back to farming, as you said. Freedom, though, are posturing in the mid lane. They're playing very far up. IX Mike, of course, can do this, but you don't want to waste that borrowed time. You can be bursted down. Lost it. Okay, it looks like we might be having a Zeusol come out. It's the easy kill on the Lion.
This is such a hard line game. You once one nuke gets thrown on you, half health, Zeusol follows. Not much you can do about it, even boys are close, but he has like 700 HP, it's not that efficient.
Similar issues coming out for the Bounty Hunter. And yeah, they'll manage to get themselves this tower. Also, I think I might know what is wrong with the stream. I will try to fix it in between games, guys. So, we're gonna be having... It is on Twitch's end, actually.
Good. Maybe that's not good.
No. It's something I think I can fix, but it's Twitch's fault. Either way, we'll be seeing Freedom going in onto this. Resolution taking a lot of damage. Ike's Mike, he still hasn't popped that ult yet. Now Eagle in a lot of trouble. Silence Dog gets fingered down. They used a lot for that kill though on DC, and the tower gets taken anyway. Now Ike's Mike going forwards. He does of course have that borrowed time coming out if he needs it, but can anybody get in range to deal down this final damage to Resolution? He's taking a lot from the toss coming out of the bear, but not gonna be enough. And while all of this is happening, Beast Monster takes down the bottom tower.
DC, they ended up getting like the towers made of on Freedom's side, but he's just playing very smart there, trying to take the fight, not giving any playing time for Bulba to get as much damage as possible. Understandably, he went for the melee racks because there was quite a lot of time available for him there, but it's just not quite enough yet. To get the range instead, it would have been even better, but obviously, hindsight's 20/20. But right now, it's like the lone has got his radiance. He's only got the one bear for the next 70. You know this because they held the bear in the fight. They can go again. Citizens up, bears up, so it's second bear, obviously. But they've still got time on the Aegis to use. You don't have to have excesses and do well in fights at this point, I don't think. More of a overkill slash tower pushing mechanism. As long as the initiation's not garbage, they don't have to have it.
Yeah, either way, I don't know if they will have the Aegis for the next fight, because it's going down in about a minute and a half. Sven does pick up his blink, so this will be some good initiation coming out of Aoi, and we haven't talked about it too much, but Aoi, obviously Sven a hero who can keep up with his cleave, but he's doing a good job of keeping up with the bear, with the Midas.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's trying to at least demons and engagements. So it's not like he's just been AFK farming. Actually had some involvement, even though his score doesn't look too heavy. There's only 8 kills on his team. Most of those were on the opposite side of the map to him.
So as another scouting Zeus ult, not going to find anything, but here comes the push, and as we talked about, they need to get this tower down, because obviously they did just have their bottom tier 3 pushed in. It should make quick work, but 1437 again, he's trying to make something happen. He's probably going to pay with his life, being a lion.
It's really hard for them to there right now, unless they actually want to take an engagement.
Okay, and they're going for it. The exorcism does come out. They throw out the silence, not quite hitting onto people. The courier does end up going down to the bounty hunter, but Resolution suddenly backing on up. He's about to get held in spot, and there it is. Kiko on the sidelines. They manage to burst down Resolution. Aoi trying to go in on the back line. They're being held in place. The false promise comes out onto Aoi, so he'll be fine. And now the borrowed time from IX Mike making him hard to kill, but Resolution is brought back. He is back in. Oh no, he respawned back into this fight because I think that was the edge of his Aegis. And he will be getting some kills while IX Mike no more hard time. And it looks like a full team wipe. Can they catch IX Mike here?
Of course.
Looking like yes.
To deny at least.
So he did have to buy back. Okay, I thought it was a buyback, but then I wasn't 100% sure because I realized he had the Aegis as well.
And they timed it fairly well. Like, they had the ward on Freedom side, so they had like complete vision of everyone from DC in that fight, but the buyback from Resolution just to go fight. At that point it was how many could they get away with, and the answer was apparently none. But again, despite the fact Lone Druid's still in and amongst the top, his bear's cooldown for 70. They did see in that fight as long as they out of it, they should be able to this window one way or another. Citizen's also up in 50 God's strength, so 42nd.
Yeah, I think obviously a really good fight for DC. They're getting themselves a lead. You know, it's been slow and steady. Aoi doing a good job of farming up as is Bulba, but now there's 7.5 thousand net worth ahead, over 7.5 thousand experience ahead. Can a bear do enough here to be kind of the last wall?
No. Not when he's full, and most lockdown for the bear, but the problem is sustaining it through the fights is really hard because Ben's just hitting one hero and it bears in cleave range, it's losing a lot of health. Then you're committing like Oracle spells or the Abaddon spells to try and keep it up, and they don't heal that much 40 minutes into the game. Right now, I would still say he's a really strong hero. It's just needs for Zeus to be able to put out a lot of damage in the fight so he doesn't have to play so scared. DCR on the back foot health-wise, they can't really play aggressive. Freedom need to rely on. In 20 minutes, that's probably not going to be the case anymore.
Smoke coming out from Freedom. See if they can take this one. They're not wrapping around or anything, just looking to find the jump. I'm not sure it's gonna work. IX Mike playing very far off. The bear going to be revealed. There goes Zeus ulti to try to get the initiation out. The bear is running forwards. Exorcism has been popped. And everybody from Freedom just backing on out. Can Satsuka find some of them before they escape? Not looking like it. Unfortunately, not a great use of smoke.
I like the idea of the exorcism, as we were saying in the graph. There's just no catch, so maybe they're able to power damage in with this, but if Freedom can time it in a way that they use this Blink Tiny when exorcism's about to run out, which they smartly realized that they could do that and back off, it would have been a good window for them. But at the end of the day, it's smoke for an exorcism much. That's what that comes down to.
Which may actually be a favorable trade for Freedom in the long run, right?
If they can use a window, yeah.
Bought themselves 100 seconds to do something funky. We haven't talked about it, but 1437, despite the speed, not a fun game for a Lion. He's getting close to that Blink Dagger. Auntie Hunter also
I'm not even sure he wants to.
What would you prefer here instead?
Personally, I think is fine. It's just certain players would probably create on the fact Zeus and the Radiance in the fights, but with how they've lacked the initiation, it makes a lot of sense. Probably is for best item actually, it's just there's a lot of ways to deal with it. Say for example Freedom managed to get a root on Sven when he gets slightly caught out. Lion can't jump in if there's a Zeus or if the bear's in a good enough position.
And speaking, okay, we got the toss back onto 1437, but Owie, he jumps on the backlines with the God String. He's doing good work, immediately has to run back into his team. Finger comes out, manages to get the kill on Tiny as well. And now they are chasing down the remnants of Freedom. 1437 didn't even die there. Then, oh, they do manage to stop IX Mike's TP out. They are still chasing the bear. It looks like IX Mike should be going down here. He will fall. 1437 not dead, and only the bear escapes.
Really scary for Freedom. This is a stage of the game where Abaddon's kind of peeking, what Tiny can still provide a lot of damage. I'm really surprised he opted to toss the line back instead of just comboing him and using a Zeus ult for the free kill. I think that kind of cost them the fight because it put them in a really bad position. They were kind of overcommitted. They didn't even get the kills. Because the Zeus ult was on cooldown, I didn't quite see, but as it wasn't used, possible they just thought Tiny would kill him. Again, like Oracle's kind of peaking at this stage because as the damage becomes much, you're not keeping people alive through the promise. Ben hits them twice, they're probably dead. So okay, you might be able to let them cast their spells, but
also, Oracle has the problem of if he gets jumped on by Sven, Stormhammer 1 or 2 hits and he's dead. And look, talking about getting gone on, Tiny gonna get false promised up here, is most likely dead either way. Exorcism actually comes out from Resolution. Pico, oh, he manages to live there. The double heal from the Oracle. It's not gonna be enough here. Can he get on out? No, the physical damage overwhelming, and the rest of Freedom on the wrong side of the map to help out. Just kind of chilling down here.
AY was busy pushing top. That was happening, so they could probably secure the tier 2 with this, one way or another, maybe even both. And then Roche is over to them. Maybe they wait for the next exorcism, but
Okay, they're finishing up the exorcism. Really nicely timed from Team Freedom. Let's see if they can find anything else here. Zeusol comes out again. Pseudo scouting Bulba though gonna manage to drop the ult onto Sunby. Aoi making quick work of him with that BKB, showing it off, just trying to fight up on the bear at the same time as Kiko going down on the backline. Aoi gonna finally finish off that bear. Bronze is just forced to stand there, manages to resummon the bear, but the borrowed time already used on IX Mike. And I'm not sure that the 3 leftover heroes can fight this one.
They're gonna concede Roche off the back of that as well, most likely, because without Zoo, they have no vision going into the fight, they have no damage, with minus 90 as well, so... DH is better use of what they have this game, that's mostly what it comes down to.
Again, we see a lot of games like this. It does feel a bit like teams recently, a lot of the more experienced teams, even if they lose a few kills here and there, they're understanding how to better farm up the map, just get more out of the game. And ultimately winning it for them, right? Right now they are over 10,000 net worth ahead, almost 20,000 experience ahead.
They have just been outplaying them for the past, like, 15 minutes as well, which... When you're talking lineups, I actually think they're in a really good... They never let them get anything easily, and they always, like, tried to contest whatever Freedom were doing. Did it in such a manner that, okay, maybe they lose a Lion, maybe they lose a Bounty, but cores are still gaining. You know that as the game goes on, it's gonna scale really well. Especially hardest carry in this game, so unless Valondra literally gets 12 slots, which, you know, is a possibility. He's still farming decently, but it's gonna take another 60 minutes at least. Even then, like, Sven can so quickly, it's Charleston health, that's, I think, 70 minutes in. That's 2 crits.
There's not a lot of hope left for Freedom, but you never know. Maybe there'll be an overextension. Ow, he jumps a little bit too far. They're gonna get the stun onto IX Mike, and now the Primal Roar onto Kiko. Quick pick there, IX Mike. He could manually activate the borrowed time. It may be forced to go down to it. They're gonna all stop hitting him. This team is too coordinated, and IX Mike doesn't really have a way out. They actually just decide to smack him through the borrowed time and bring him down again.
Not like they lack the damage right now. 1600 health at this stage. They're at decent. Fortunately, when 5 heroes are wailing on you, it doesn't do anything. And, like,
I don't...
Lone Druid's trying to push out the lanes so that there's maybe bone split push threat, maybe DC have to account for that, but... Might just lose racks here. Exorcism's still up, Aegis is available for a very long time. Even like pushing in mid as well, so the racks attempt goes well, they transition into really clean by DC.
Yep, there's gonna be the stun onto Resolution, actually losing quite a bit of health here. Does have the Aegis, but of course if he loses the Exorcism, doesn't respawn with it, doesn't matter. He and Aoi making quick work of these racks. They can go head over to top. They might decide to back out and take middle. They're in no rush, because it does look like the game will just continue to be in their favor. And Freedom, oh, actually trying to start something off. 1437, not successfully tossed backwards, and it's gonna be it. Well, Resolution takes that mid tower. There's just not much that they can do here. PQ has unfortunately dropped. I'm just plagued by technical issues, people, but I will carry on until he's back in. Hopefully we'll make it before this one ends. Salzka lying in wait to see what he can find. Almost finished up a 4-staff, and Freedom looking like they're going for a kind of death push down middle. Nope, just backing it out. I'm not sure what the play is here for them. As we've talked about, if they allow the game to go on longer, what is the plan? DC still feel like they're very much ahead. Beastmaster is going to become a bit of a real core as well. (1437) just casually farming up on the bottom lane. And Kiko, oh, Bulba, getting the catch out here. There's gonna be the Primal Roar going, and now they've immediately taken down the Tiny. The rest of Freedom nearby, but no one close enough. And it feels like this lineup that should have been nigh unkillable with some, you know, so many heroes that heal. DC just finding an easy way around them. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, 1437 has IX Mike chasing after him, while on the top, the Exorcism has been popped. Resolution looking for a way in, deciding that mid will be the place that they push. And this tower should be going down quickly. IX Mike coming in for the defense, as is the Bear. Both of them will start taking damage now too, and the Bear already down to half health, but it's Oracle that Aoi decides to go in on BKB and silence up. Aoi, no, he manages to get rooted. They can't keep rooting. Mike gonna be healing up some. Can they get the kill? Yes, they do. They managed to bring down the Oracle, so there will be no false promise coming out of this fight. Resolution quite low, but as we talked about, has that Aegis. Now, okay, Aoi jumping in deep. He's the one who's in trouble. Gonna get tossed even deeper, taking hits from 2 towers. Finally, Aoi will fall. A nice lot of gold going into their pocket of freedom. But Aoi immediately buying back, as does IX Mike. They're going on the bear again. There is no bear resummon. If this one ends up going down, it needs to get away. The Stormhammer comes out. It's not quite dead yet, but Aoi going deep for it. He's not going to be able to kill it. They are getting some nice toss back action. They managed to kill off the bounty hunter, and now the rack still going down. Aoi getting very close, but no, it looks like they'll defend this ranged Rax. Can they find anyone here, though? Defending isn't enough. They managed to catch out 1437. They're still chasing, but the rest of DC completely scattered. And in a big team fight win for the lineup of Freedom, unfortunately they lost almost both of their Raxes for it. You did. No worries, PQ. We, no worries. Twitch trying to mess with us. You blue screening. It's all good. Clearly. Either way, the push, I think, for Freedom, it looks like it might be one of those death pushes. Trying to make sure something happens. The bear will make quick work of this tower. The exorcism is out by resolution. I believe Francis will have a new bear in about 20 seconds, but not this one, so he has to save it. Are they just chasing? Resolution going to slink aggressively forward. Manages to get the silence out again. Eagle, he's going to go down on that side of the fight. Francis deciding that he just has to stand and fight, but it looks like he's dead as well. They do have buyback on him, but what is there left to do for Freedom?
Hope for a miracle at this point. They do have buyback and bear, so maybe some horridly bad overextension from DC, some chance to come back, or at least stabilize, but the chance of that happening is just so slim. Even if that does happen, like, pay gold, or 5k on the Beastmaster, 2.5 on deep, like, they just have so much banked up. And actually doing the smart thing and bending it before the push. Like, they don't have to go right now.
Their lead has been extended to over 20,000 net worth, 25,000 experience. As you said, miracle needed for Freedom. That's kind of what they're up against.
It's so hard for them to get anything unless DC give it to them right now, because narrowly miss out. And they actually might catch the bounty.
Oh no, they can see him, but they just don't have the jump.
Need some kind of dust on Tiny, maybe should sell the organ. But what I was gonna make was, even with like these really good wards coming out from D, Freedom might fish they're there and deward them, but there's still the Hawk to worry about. It means you have to have smoke get out of your base. Your lanes need to be pushed to an extent where it's not obvious, then need a smoke available, and you get one chance every 12 minutes for something like that to work. Not sure how many smoke they actually have. Apparently none is the answer. No, sorry, they have one on the Oracle.
Yeah.
And they're trying now, but again, it's not efficient, and they just realize that instantly, so... have to do something, they know that, they're panicking to get the lanes out and try and make something happen. In that pseudo panic, like, they smoke under a Hawk, because there's too many things they need to do for the smoke to be perfect.
Yeah, it's incredibly rough.
Like, yeah, like, even if you're playing against a team that isn't doing anything right now, it's still really hard to make the situation where it's a good idea to smoke. You know, DC are doing the right thing. The only hero that's showing on the map right now, was Lion, and an expendable target. Like, he doesn't buy back. Look, the lane's pushed.
Oh, but now gonna blink and drop his Necro Creeps. He can pretty much bash down this tower. Immediately, the TP rotation's coming back from Freedom. They were hoping maybe the Rosh would spawn and they could take it, but no. It's gonna be an 11-minute almost Rosh respawner. Yeah, it's super long. So, almost max Rosh respawn timer. Sakska is kinda nearby. Gonna reveal himself, giving it a go onto IX Mike. The exorcism does come out on the sidelines. looking for someone, but with the blinks away, not going to be able to catch out the Zeus or IX Mike, so kind of casual ult coming out of Resolution there.
They've got the ability to buy the time so that it isn't big of a deal. But I really like this idea of Blink Death Rocker. It's just gives them an actual way of catching fuels, something they needed. It's always really annoying to be a DP when you have to run into a fight and to go through the bear, Zeus nukes, and just really nice idea, especially when you're playing from ahead. Like when you've got Blades, Yules, Green, the timing he did, he doesn't need to go for another tank item as well. So, the idea.
Sven has finished up the AC, Sant and Yasha and Satanic.
The beast. Didn't even finished like a damage item yet, but he doesn't need to.
Yeah. And again, Team Freedom checking the Roche pit, but Sakska just full-stomping himself out of there. And while that's happening, guess who's knocking on their front door? Bulba's there. Always at the ready. We're just being suffocated out here.
They just have no way of controlling the map. DC are doing the right thing every time. They know Freedom want to fight around Roche, so instead, they just keep the lanes pushed in.
Oh, and it's looking like Pico will be going down here. There's just nothing he can do. Oh,
he's trying to scout the Roche so his team knows, but now he hands it over to DC pretty much. Forced to TP get a pick.
I mean, I don't want to say it's over, but what do you think would you change up for next game if you are Freedom? Do you try to avoid Resolution getting the Death Prophet, a hero he's super comfortable on? Do you think it's the Beastmaster actually getting too much out of lane?
I think biggest fault this game was their supports were... The Tiny was somewhat active, but it's a very clunky hero and doesn't work. I feel like it really doesn't work, and you kind of saw that this game. And on top of that, the offlane Abaddon doesn't do anything. It's really annoying to fight against for a certain window, and he can kind of counter the Lion or someone in fights and off them using their spells. No one wants to actually fight an Abaddon, like, then it's just a waste of your time. Generally. He's not doing anything. Like, this
I
makes
agree.
the game
Look
where
at
DC are
Resolution.
comfortable.
He's just deep in their base. This is technically a team fight, but Ali's just standing there. BKB has himself nice little dog strength. Also had a DD to the beginning of some of that. Now he's just gonna rip on through them. Ghost Scepters or no. False Promise out on Sunbee, but it's not enough. And I imagine the GGs will be called soon. 147 in the fountain, but it's not enough. Resolution mules up into the air. Zeus does manage to buy back, getting some of these heroes kind of low. Trying to throw out that chain lightning and do some work. Resolution does have the Aegis again, so if they bring him down, they'd have to bring him down twice, but suddenly only the Zeus around. Abaddon does manage to buy back, unable to catch up to the Resolution, and now Ali's just gonna kill off Sunbee. He's trying to run it off. Will he get any help from IX Mike? No, IX Mike is aquatic shielded himself. Sunbee's still running away. Will the creep catch him? Aquatic shield goes out onto Sunbee, but now IX Mike in a lot of trouble. Manages to pop that borrowed time. Still turning around and fighting, but they are, well actually the Racks are not dead yet, but finally DC decide to focus on it, and off Sunbee in trouble. He's gonna go down. No borrowed time now for IX Mike, and they'll call it GG. We're on our way into game 2.
Really clean stuff by DC at the end. They didn't make too many mistakes, they just realized what needed to be done, didn't do anything more, and at the end of the day, it's because of a very easy finish. You know, there was no 3-2-2 action, they didn't have to worry about anything that Freedom were doing because they were in complete control of the game the entire time. And I've got to credit most of that to the fact they have the Beastmaster, and to some extent the Lion was also doing really good split pushing as well when he wasn't with his team.